Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. Now, I'm not sure if the algorithm is now going, aha, he likes doom and gloom stuff, so I'm going to start spoon feeding him these videos. But I have been seeing more and more of these negative doomsday is coming. You know, Edgar Casey predicted 2025 and 2026 is going to be catastrophic and all these kinds of videos. Again, it might be because of the algorithm, but are you noticing the same kind of thing? And what do you think is going to happen in the future? Do you see darker days ahead? I do. Maybe it's because they're spoon feeding this stuff to me through videos, but I see another black swan event is either right around the corner or it could be happening now. That black swan is sort of slowly coming into land. As I'm preparing to do this video, I'm going, what am I going to talk about? I'm thinking, I believe that RVers are better prepared than normal people. Call them normal people, non-RVers, because I think something may be wrong with some of us RVers. So let's call us either RVers or normal people. I want to think that I'm kind of in both groups. But when the black swan lands and you know what hits the fan, I think that RVers are going to be way better prepared to get through that event than the normal people. And as I mention some of these things and comment on them, I'd like to know what you think. If you think it's not going to matter any, and it may not, but if you can come up with some reasons why RVers might be better prepared to deal with a black swan event, I would certainly like to know. The first thing is, I believe human beings, all of us, because we're all human, we're seeking comfort. We want to be comfortable. You want to be comfortable right now. I do too. You want the thermostat set right. You don't like being uncomfortable. Neither do animals. They don't seek being uncomfortable. So we all seek comfort. Owning an RV is going to present you with things that you're not going to be comfortable. If you're thinking about buying an RV and you're seeking it for comfort and pleasure and you don't want any hassles, RVing is probably not for you because you will not be comfortable all the time. So what does that have to do with a black swan event? Well, think about it. If a black swan event comes, if an EMP happens, now we don't have any internet and power and so forth. Who is better prepared to deal with that catastrophe? Who? Normal people or RVers? RVers have had to improvise. They've had to live with less. They've learned to conserve and live small. Normal people, again, people that don't own RVs, their house, their garage is probably filled with 90% junk that they'll never use, that eventually one day it's going to go to Goodwill, if the kids are going to just throw it away. It has significant value to us, but they want to be comfortable. People want to be comfortable. They want to hold on to all their crap. And when you know what hits the fan and they have to start ditching stuff, or if the community gets, something happens, there's chaos, there's riots. And I live in a part of Texas where up until the change in the presidential election, there were unregistered Democrats by the tens of thousands in my city. The illegals, there were. And they were walking through the neighborhood and cars were being broken into and stores are being robbed, and that's just the way it was. If you're a normal person and you have a sticks and bricks home, what are you going to do? Batten down the hatches and grab your shotgun? Well, maybe so. But what if it gets really bad? You can't up and move. You can't do it. And if you do, everybody else is trying to move too. An RVer has learned to be, a friend of mine says, agile, mobile, and hostile. You got to be agile. You got to be able to adapt when you own an RV. And I think that RVers have learned to adapt. You make stuff work out of nothing. You also learn to think. Yes, to think. These things don't help you think, at least in my opinion. They help you get entertained, but they don't help you to think. When you have a problem with your RV, what do? If you're alone, you're boondocking, and something happens, you got a plumbing leak or it's some electrical issue, you got to figure it out. You can't call a repairman. I mean, you could, but you may be waiting for days. You can improvise and make things work. I think there's a lot of benefits that RVers are going to have that normal people won't. I also believe it's a mindset. RVers have a mindset. Happy RVers do. They know something's going to break. It's only a matter of time. So when it happens, they're not shocked. Nobody embraces it. Come on, give me the next thing to break. Nobody does that. But they have a mindset that allows their level of willingness to sacrifice their comfort for getting in front and maintaining things. They know things are going to break, and they deal with it. Agile, mobile, hostile. They're tough. They're resilient. You can't take all the crap with you that normal people want to take with you. How many times do you go, when you first started camping in an RV, how many times do you go, okay, we need that and that? Kind of reminds me of the movie The Jerk. You remember The Jerk with Steve Martin? I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, whenever it was. There was a scene in there that Nathan Johnson, he just, I need this ping pong ball, and that's all I need. And then, and this ashtray, and that's all I need. And he's walking out, and that's all I need, and that's all I need. And I think that RVers, when we first start out, okay, I need all those clothes, I need all those pots and pans, I need my fishing tackle, I need my barbecue, all my cooking stuff, and you load the crap out of that RV. It's not even made to take that much weight, but you learn to live with less. I think learning to live with less, learning to live with discomfort is a really, really good thing. When you are an RV owner, you have the peace of mind knowing that if what hits the fan, you can hitch up and leave. If you're ready, if your rig is ready, and it should be, I think always, you should have your rig ready to hitch up and bolt if something hits the fan. And if you don't, I would suggest that you do. Get it ready. Most people, when what hits the fan, they go, oh my God, what are we going to do? Who are we going to call? Help. And they literally are helpless because everything's been given to them. What if the internet were down? You can't use YouTube. You can't do anything. Oh, that'll never happen. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that a Black Swan event is imminent? Do you think maybe we're in a Black Swan event? The Swan is, as I said, coming down to land right now, and people just aren't wanting to pay attention to it. Kind of like that guy Noah. Remember that? Remember that old dude? Building that big old ark? What is that crazy guy doing over there? Well, it's coming. I'm going to use it. I am. You see a guy, he's crazy. I think that people that have an RV, they're mobile, they're resourceful, they're inventive. There's another benefit that RVers are going to have. And if you've got something, there's probably 100 of them. So drop a comment below. Let me know if you think that RVers are going to be more ready than normal people are when the what hits the fan. A big one, I think, is loneliness. Remember when COVID hit and everybody had to stay in their house? Kids couldn't go to school. Businesses were closed down. Don't come to work. Work from home. Human beings want to be around other human beings. When we're not around them, we suffer. Mentally, we suffer. We need contact with other human beings. We do. There's a sense of community in these campgrounds. I don't know what it is. I can't describe it, but if you've ever been in a good campground, you know what that sense of community is. Complete strangers from all over the country, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different everything. And somehow, some way, there's this weird sense of community that everybody gets together. And you don't fight and bitch and argue and complain and get in fist fights and criticize. I'm going to defriend you. You learn to get along. And I think that when what hits the fan, that people aren't going to know what to do. They don't have a sense of community. They don't know their neighbors. Well, I know mine. Well, good for you, seriously, because I don't know my neighbors. I may occasionally wave at them. They may occasionally wave at me, but this is not the 1960s or 70s or even before that. It's not. People are more transient. They're more into themselves, into their damn phones, and they are less capable of fixing things. They're less flexible than they ever were because they're being entertained every minute by one of these deals. What do you think? Do you think that RVers are going to do a better job getting through the Black Swan event? I'd like to know your thoughts. I really would. I think that RVing, the reason that we RV, and we got a lot of different reasons for it, but RVing, yes, we want to travel. We want to be with those that we love. But there's something that RVing does for us. It prepares us to be tougher, to have a better ability to adapt to bad situations. You have a breakdown on the side of the road. It makes our brains more stimulated. It brings us closer together. Again, if you're thinking about buying an RV, these are benefits. I promise you, when you RV, if you will do it and you're willing to accept some of the bad stuff and the pain in the ass stuff and the maintenance problems, you will feel so much more confident when you know what does hit the fan in your normal life. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm not right. I'm just giving you my opinion because I really believe RVers are better prepared for whatever's getting ready to hit us. Again, let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Maybe give the video a thumbs up. Share it on social media. I need all the help I can get. I'm trying to help. If you don't know, if you made it this far, I am the RV Wingman. And I kind of got that moniker, if you will, because I see people that are being fleeced by RV dealers that it just pisses me off. And so I have made this crusade, if you will, to try to get them some justice. I'm not a lawyer, but I am a former campground owner, a lifelong RVer, and I hate bullies, and I hate people that are taken advantage of. And so I try and help them get through a very bad situation. Many people buy an RV for the wrong reason. Some people buy it, it's the only thing they can do to live. And I certainly understand that. I'm not trying to talk down about anybody. But as the wingman, my job, my responsibility is to be honest and have honest conversations around this virtual campfire. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. These videos are not about clicks. They're about trying to get you to stop and think and enjoy conversation. I try and get back. Recently, I've been trying to comment on just about everybody's comment. If you comment on one of my videos, I try to give you some kind of feedback and show of gratitude for you taking the time to spend with me. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Drop a comment down below. I am Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, reminding you to be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't you dare leave your good manners at home. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.